crunch time, Mal. Which means it's also breakfast stream. Hi, everybody. Welcome to, it's Tuesday. It can only be one of two.
And they both start with T.
And they both start with, that makes it confusing. That makes it confusing. They also both ended in day.
Quick, change everything.
Rewrite everything. We gotta change it. There should be Toast Day 1 and Coffee Day 2. Wait. If they're different, they don't need numbers. Toast Day and Coffee Day. Something like that.
Is there peanut butter on that?
No.
Oh, it's jam?
It's just
toast.
It's just toast.
Okay.
It's just toast.
That's a really good bread.
It is good bread. It is good
It's
bread.
a shame it's expensive and the only thing left on the shelf last week.
Yeah. In an effort to not buy
Wonder Bread?
Wonder Bread. Because our grocery store, when we went last week, had white bread and Wonder Bread. Which I guess Wonder Bread is also white bread.
Yes.
There was one package of wheat bread left. And it was Dave's Killer Bread? Is that what it's called?
I don't remember, but it's good. It's just...
It's very good bread, but like, I would never buy it again based solely on the price. It was just a desperate times, I don't want to eat Wonder Bread. Fortunately, we went... to
a different grocery store.
We went to a different grocery store, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
And they had
Your normal.
my normal bread.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, good. Good. And you'll see this in the vlog that comes out today, because I got both vlogs done, so they're caught up again. We ran into Dan, which was fun. I really enjoyed that. He was coming out of the
the
grocery store as we were going in. So like we were passing each other, and we were like, "Oh man, hey!"
It's so great to see you.
And then we were like,
recommended 6 feet away.
And then we were like, "Well, bye." So I mean, we've been talking to Dan, because we've been keeping in contact with everybody online, but it was good because like we haven't seen Dan in a while.
Yeah.
Like a whole long time.
Someone asked how that grocery store was. That grocery store was a lot more stocked.
Well,
the only thing they didn't have was chicken and toilet paper. I mean, they were low on things.
yeah.
Like, there wasn't a whole lot of canned vegetables. Like, I didn't look at them because we didn't need any canned vegetables. Except tomatoes.
Yeah.
But, like, you could find some things.
And
a truck just arrived.
Yeah.
We were leaving and someone said it again.
Yeah, well, the thing that one other thing to keep in mind is that the grocery store that we went to is a little out of the way, a little smaller, and like
it serves a smaller population.
It serves a smaller population.
So,
it's in a different area, and I think that made a big difference.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that in mind, basically.
Yeah.
When we need something. So it's a weird situation because like you're both looking for supplies, and when you go to the store, you don't know what you're gonna get. You have no idea because you don't get to decide that. And then on the other hand, like you're also looking for grocery stores that aren't too busy, and you're trying to like mentally be like, well, what's like the non-peak time? Because you're trying to like not interact with people. And grocery stores are just a really interesting experience because everyone is like very subconsciously staying away from people. And we actually had to go back to the post office.
Yeah.
Because we went to the post office on when? Like Thursday?
Thursday, I think.
And when we went, apparently there was one other package we were supposed to get that the post office just didn't tell us about. So we had to go back. And whenever we went back, there was like 2 other people in the post office kiosk area, and Mao,
which is tiny,
which is really tiny, and Mao was with me, and I was like, I'll just wait out here. So I was waiting out in the hallway area, and this woman came in, and she thought I was like in line, so she just kind of froze. And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, "Go ahead." And she's like, "No, no, no, you go ahead." And I was like, "I'm not in line. I'm just waiting on my wife." And she goes, "Oh, okay." And then she held out her hands, almost as if to make like an actual barrier between us. And like I'm standing like at least 6 feet away, if not like 8 feet away from her, and like. I understand what she's doing, and I feel bad, but I'm like, I'm over here.
And you have no reason to get closer to her.
Exactly. I'm not on my way that way, so I'm just standing over there.
And once I was done getting the package and mailing rent, because we paid rent yesterday, I walked out, and she was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "I'm not coming closer to you."
Well, what I was gonna say is, while you were still in there, and she was, waiting outside the room to go in because she was in line. We were just sitting there. We were like 6 to 8 feet away. We're just sitting there, and all of a sudden, she just goes, "Isn't this crazy?" And I'm like, yeah, it's not ideal, but we're making the best of it. So, yeah, it was just an interesting experience because, like, everyone that we've seen while we've been out, yeah, there's a subconscious thing of, like, keeping your distance. That was the first time where I've seen a more overt keeping your distance, where someone was like, "Please stay away from me." And I'm like, I'm staying away from you. I'm staying away from you. And, like, one of the things that they're saying is, especially with younger people, is that you can be completely asymptomatic. So I take that very seriously. Mao and I take that very seriously. So we are trying to, even though we don't have any symptoms personally, just in case, we're trying to be careful around people because we wouldn't want to be responsible for that.
We're only going out when we absolutely need to for groceries and
to pick up mail that the post office didn't tell us about. But yeah, I mean, we're being careful about it, but it's just, that's the first time I've seen someone very overtly that was like, "Stay away." Doodle says, "Wait, you're younger? Oh no."
Grandpa.
"Oh no, they know my secret. I'm not really a grandpa."
We have an older population in our county because it's a retirement area, so a lot of people retire here.
Hey! Sorry.
Milk bomb.
Milk bomb from Crunchy Professor. Thank you, Crunchy. Yeah, people retire to Myrtle Beach. And there's a younger population too.
Yeah, but
but even
our neighborhood is mostly retirees.
Yes.
So there's very little kids.
Yeah, most people that move here are retiring. They're the people that want to retire and spend their time at the beach or playing golf, and that's really what our population is. Or as Renee says, snowbirds. Yeah. People that are just,
I've seen
spending some time here.
A few Canadian license plates, like in the last 2 days. Yesterday, and then when we were out last week. So I think maybe they're just deciding to stay here.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I put that all into perspective because, like, in our day-to-day, we see a lot of elderly people going grocery shopping, go to the post office, go whatever. Like, in fact, I almost say that a majority of the people that we see are elderly. So yeah, always try and keep that in mind. Anyway, let's read some of these alerts, and then I'll eat some of my toast. We got 17-month resub from Dan Began 2. Dan, thank you. 14 months from Halberdier V2. So many twos. We got a sub from Link Lunk Lunk Lunk, which is a good name. 17 months from Old Ramen. Also got a sub from Ketzoon. 5-month resub from NG Ben, who just says, "Neat." 10-month resub from Tentacrout, who says, 10 month. Like 10 months. 10 month. Randy B213 gives a sub to PokeFan652. Thank you, Randy. Did I spell coffee? No, I'm good.
No.
I felt my leg
Hit the table.
hit the table.
And the whole table wiggled.
And briefly in my brain, it was like, oh no. But then I looked and I think we were all right. We got a 17-month resub from Ryan B06 who says, 17! Does this mean my Twitch baby now has a driver's license? They grow up so fast. Well, if your Twitch baby came at 9 months, that means that the Twitch baby would be 8 months. So, not really. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's some place where they give an 8-month-old driver's license. How old does a kid need to be before they get in them little tiny red cars?
Probably at least
Like 2 years?
Moving their legs. Yeah, I mean 2 is probably the average age for that.
Okay.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
3 and up, Satsy says.
Yeah. So it'd be a little bit. We'll put a special sub alert on what is 36 and 9, 45 months. So at 45 months, it'll be a kid in one of them little red cars moving around. Because that's 3 years after the 9-month period. Perfect. The lore deepens.
My cousin just got his temps.
Oh, yeah?
And he's learning to drive. And because schools are closed, and Wisconsin tends to do driver's ed as part of the curriculum, his mom was teaching him. And she posted a picture, and she's like, oh, he's learning to drive, and I have to teach him.
Satsy says, toot toot. What sound does a train make?
Beep beep.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm gonna swap them for the car. Because yeah. So if the train goes, if the train goes beep beep, the car would go choo-choo. That's the words I was looking for. Satsy said toot toot, and my brain was like, is that right? Does the train go toot toot?
Thomas says whoop whoop.
I got there though. Yeah, the car goes choo choo. Again, the lore deepens, expanding the lore every day. 19-month resub from Mech Mayhem. 19 months. Thanks for providing entertainment, especially now in these special and uncertain times, grandparents. Glad to do it, Mech, and congrats again on being the first person to 19 months. I say that with certainty because Mech was literally our first sub. So it's like, if Mech hits 19 months, I'm like, yeah, pretty sure they're first. They made it. We get 100 bits from Mirosha. Mirosha, thank you. 18 months, 1+ from Kiwi Scipio. I think my workplace is trying to kill me. They haven't changed their hours, haven't limited how much people can buy, and now my boyfriend fears I might have done permanent damage to my arms. And worst of all, my copy of Animal Crossing is lost in the mail.
Oh no.
It's not that the first things weren't bad, but that last thing is so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Mal and I were talking about how, Nintendo couldn't have planned this, right? But, man, Animal Crossing came out at the best time. And actually, I was talking to Emil the other day, and I told him that Animal Crossing was the most well-timed game release in the history of mankind. I just think it was. It was. I don't think there could have been a better game come out at a better time ever. Just never. Anyway, I hope that your work changes their ways. And I hope that you haven't actually done permanent damage to your arms. Try and take it easy when you can. And I hope that your copy of Animal Crossing is found. Or that there's another one expedited to you as quickly as possible. One of those things. Or maybe you can like talk to them and be like, hey, just cancel my order and then get it digitally. That might be an option too. If you're like, I don't even want to deal with the physical version anymore, that might be an option.
Kiwi says it was last seen in West Virginia.
There's going to have to be like a search crew sent out for that copy of Animal Crossing. That was actually one of the things I had considered doing was ordering Animal Crossing. And then, as it got a little bit closer, I was like, because I wanted to make sure I was playing it on that Friday for the stream. And I was like, well, if things get delayed just a little bit, I better wait, because we almost got it by going out, and then I ended up just getting a digital copy. We get 12 months. That's a year from Wildfire972. 1 year of crunch. Congrats, Wildfire. Thanks for a whole year. We get a sub from U212 or U212. 18 months from Rosavan84 Pi. Congrats on OnePlus. 300 bits from Satsy, who says the new normal is McDonald's is closed in the UK, and that somehow stuck with me, even though I don't often go there. I wonder if that's like the equivalent of Waffle House is closed. Because if Waffle House is closed,
yeah,
things are bad. Waffle House is open.
Takeout only.
Yeah, well, it feels like just about the entire country is takeout only. Mm-hmm. But our Waffle House is still open, and as James says, what rating is it? It's a normal rating. I forget what is it colors they use?
It's red, yellow, and green.
Yeah, so we're still operating at green. Mm-hmm. It's just a weird green because it's takeout. There has never been any part of me that has thought about getting Waffle House to go. Part of the experience of Waffle House is definitely being inside.
I mean, we've been in there at like 2 a.m. and people come in and get food to go.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
But, I mean, hey, this is a new reality, a new normal that everyone exists with now, so we'll see.
El Matador says their Waffle House is dine-in open.
Their dine-in is open.
That must be a different state, because South Carolina said no to that.
Yeah, that's wild. Because in South Carolina, all restaurants are takeout only. So, can you get jukebox music to go? Actually, I think there is some way to listen to that music otherwise. I mean, aside from just going to YouTube and searching for it.
It's on Spotify, Brandon says.
Is it really?
I'm taking the sunflower seed off your bread and eating it.
I'll allow it. Let's see, we got 300 bits from Elena123. I found the real reason there's no toilet paper. It's because of Alex and Haley using 6 rolls a week. Remember Stephen and Friends faking it number 2? It's funny that you bring that up.
Yeah, it is.
Very funny that you bring that up, because in the Stephen and Friends that's coming out this Saturday, there is a reference
to that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because it's so timely right now. But we have an episode of TKO coming out on Saturday.
Thomas says it's a good video.
And along with TKO is 12 minutes of us talking before we get started on TKO. And it was so funny that we just released it as its own video. And I think what I really want people to take away from that video is that is seriously the way everyone is all the time. If we had the cameras rolling all the time, we could just make that stuff all the time, because like
Chess says now you can all experience the true essence of game night.
It's true, but like I just want people to understand when they watch it, that is not a bit. I have the funniest friggin' friends in the world, and that is just how they are. And I'm so excited for you to get a chance to hear them before a recording starts, because they're hilarious people. And yeah, there was a reference to that while we were talking. Doodle says, when was the talking recorded again? So it was we just recently recorded
a week and a half ago?
Yeah, it wasn't long ago, but we're basically all getting ready to do TKO. And I was already rolling, and we were waiting for everyone to get there, and then it was so good, we're like, we should just release this.
And everyone was like, yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, we should, and then we just did. So that'll be on Saturday. So.
That's better.
We get a 10-month resub from Dr. Luigi 51. I can't thank you enough for your coronavirus vlog last week. You were the first person I saw to present all the information rationally, which made me finally start to take the whole situation seriously. I'm glad. That was a weird video for me to make. Like, really weird. I just don't do that sort of thing. But I felt like if I could get someone to take it seriously, it would be worthwhile. So I'm glad that you did. And it's difficult too, because the information that I had seen, when you're watching the news can definitely sensationalize. It's almost like that's their jobs. And I wanted to try and present it in the best way I possibly could. And I feel like I did all right. And I'm glad that I made that when I did, so it's just out there and can just continue to like move on past that. And also like daily vlogs now, I mean, we're in a pandemic. It's a thing that's happening, so it's like we can't shy away from it anyway. So yeah, every day's been an adventure. Actually, one of the things we were talking about recently is the fact that we normally plan out our meals.
Yeah.
And
like before we go to the grocery store, we're like, all right, what do we want to eat? What's on the sale? We'll look at the sale flyer.
Yeah, but we basically know what we're going to eat Monday night, Tuesday night,
Come here,
Wednesday night. Like, we know exactly what we're going to eat. And because of food being unavailable, that's just like gone. Just completely gone. So instead, we're basically going to the store and just seeing what's there. What can we do? Trying to come up with stuff on the spot, and like, is there a meal that we could do with this? I mean, buying some dry goods too that we can eat.
Yeah.
But
like the other day last week, we were like, oh, they only have steak and turkey sausage at Publix.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, turkey sausage would be good, and it was an Italian turkey sausage. And so we picked that up, and we're like, well, there's also lentils, so we could do, sausage and lentil. And I was like, well, all the other stuff they don't have right now. So we kind of just waited and picked that up yesterday.
Yeah. And it's just been really interesting at dinner because there is no plan.
Yeah.
So at dinner, it's suddenly just like, what do you want?
Yeah.
We've got stuff in the freezer. We've got stuff in the pantry. There's a bunch of different things that we could possibly make. What are you in the mood for? And it's just, and I understand that there's plenty of people that's just how they eat anyway. They have stuff in the pantry, and at dinner they figure it out. But we don't. So it's been real weird. But it's also been kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's been kind of fun. I mean, like, I'm trying to look for positives. I'm trying to look for silver linings.
Was it Sunday night? We were like, what should we make? And I was like, pancakes. And then we started to make pancakes, and I was like, I have chocolate chips. So we made chocolate chip pancakes.
Yeah, you want to talk about feeling like a kid in the midst of all this? It's, at 11 o'clock at night or whatever, being like, let's make chocolate chip pancakes! And you know what? It's like, okay. So, yeah, it's been different. It's been different. I don't know what's up with there not being any chicken.
Yeah. Well, at least we got one of those frozen packs like a week ago. 2 weeks ago. No, it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the enchiladas.
Oh, no. We got the bag of frozen chicken breasts.
Yeah.
And we froze it because it's frozen. And I was like, well, I can always use this in a slow cooker thing. We have some tikka masala we could make up with it. And then the freezer burn won't taste so bad.
One of the things I noticed, and I don't know if you caught this, at Publix there was a lot more frozen stuff available.
Yeah.
And at the other grocery store that we went to, there wasn't.
Yeah.
But there was a lot more produce available.
Oh yeah.
So
the produce.
I'm wondering if there's some sort of correlation where like the people around Publix are more used to like making homemade food, and they're buying like produce and things like that. So there's more frozen stuff available. Whereas the place we just went, the people aren't used to doing that, so there's a lot more produce available, but there was like nothing in the freezer. I don't know. No idea. But one of the things that we picked up, because we were literally just going through the aisles and be like, what do we eat? I don't know.
Oh, look, here's some oatmeal. Oh, look, here's some...
One of the things, which I guess we'll, talk about when we finally make it, is there was a frozen Stouffer's family-sized chicken enchilada, which again, we basically probably would have never bought. But I was like, let's try it. Who knows? Let's give it a shot. And
Kepler wants you to pet him.
And it's the only way we're gonna get. It's the only way we're gonna get chicken in our diet. You know, so. And I've tried some of the Stouffer's before. I haven't had the chicken enchiladas, but like I've had like Stouffer's lasagna. I remember having that in college, and it was good. So.
They had chicken lasagna. You didn't want that.
Well, chicken lasagna was weird. I was like, what is chicken lasagna? I'm not sure what that is. Anyway.
That's better. Now you're not falling. Oh, you got cold beans. I can feel them in my armpit.
I see just enough beans, along with just enough Kepler's, who has beans, to warrant doing this now. I'll do it. I'll go ahead and run the ticker. The music is a little sad, but it's a classic. It's Moonlight Sonata.
What are you doing?
It's a very weird background track to be like, I'm walking the aisles picking up Stouffer's enchiladas. Are you having a good morning?
Look at this.
Are you having a good morning?
His legs are stretched out on one side.
We're having a good morning. Good purrs. He's a sweetheart. Anyway, let's keep reading some of these. We got 300 bits from NG Ben who says
an elegy for an enchilada. See, it's like 2 lines up right there.
Mal is always willing to interrupt anything I say at any time if she finds something that Chaz said funny.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. 300 bits from NG Ben who says, going to be starting work as an engineer soon. Just wanted to share a good vibe and good news. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I think, sharing good news, good vibe, good information is welcome at, any point, but especially now. So, yeah, it's nice to let people celebrate with you. That's awesome. We got a 14-month resub from Hugplex20. Who says, sub anniversary today, resub will happen on Thursday. Okay. Well, happy 14 months. I almost said happy Valentine's Day, and I think it's just because I saw the 14 and my brain briefly was like, Valentine's Day! And I'm thinking, well, no, it's it's not what that means. The number 14 does not inherently mean Valentine's Day. But my brain was trying to figure it out. We got Crunchy Professor with that milk bomb gifting 10 subs. They went to Casual Shadow JR, Salamis Dragoon, Ace Lucario, Air Looney, Munchkin Macadamia, Tiger Brows, Amber, Happy Pasta, Video Game Guru 64, and Mr. May. Crunchy Professor, thank you.
Someone asked if Kepler was purring. Yes.
He purring real strong. Yeah. I don't have any, easy way to adjust the mic. I wish I did so everyone could hear close-up purrs.
Hi.
But he's
You are heavy.
He's enjoying life this morning. He's having a good old time. We got 500 bits from Akira Dre who says, I'm so excited my copy of Animal Crossing arrived yesterday. Nice. Everyone needs a little escape. And Animal Crossing has really done a great job of that. Mel and I have been enjoying playing it. I'm trying to force myself to take pictures in game and then post them also. So we'll see if I can keep up with that. I've really enjoyed taking the photos in the game.
A bit too much?
Well, it's fun, but I do wish there was more controls over some of the camera stuff. I do wish I could do that. Satsy says, love Haley's gift to you. Yeah, Haley sent me a creepy doll, and I made sure that it made its way into a photo because I appreciated it so much.
Carlos is here. I sent him an alto sax.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that.
Because I got one and I was like, oh, Carlos needs this. So when he was streaming last night, he had told me, he's like, oh, just coming over to my island and drop off whatever gift because he didn't know what it was. So I dropped it off.
Can I show one of them? Yeah, do it. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hi, darling Kepler. You love Steven. You wish Steven would cuddle you like this.
Well,
he does, because he likes you.
I mean, I do cuddle him. I do cuddle him a good bit.
I don't think he slept on the bed last night.
Hi. That's a good photo.
That's my face.
So, Haley sent me that doll, and I was like, yeah, I can do something with it. And I have a fire in my house, so I was like, yeah, this will work. I was trying to do something with it outside.
You could put it on the secret. Thomas did get your gift. You could put it on the secret beach, the fire, and then the
Thomas
doll.
a tube top. I was trying to take a picture of it outside, but the problem was you can't get the camera to zoom in enough for my likings. Outside, it only really works inside. So I was playing around with it, and I was like, yeah, I'll just do it inside. So, yeah. I wish there was a little more photo tools, because as I learned through trial and error, there is depth of field that you can turn on, but it's only on some filters. They don't tell you what filters, and there's no way to actually control it.
You were trying to take a picture inside of resident services?
With me and Tommy and Tom Nook.
Yeah.
And I could not get the camera to do what I wanted it to do. Because Tommy was in the foreground, and I wanted him blurred, and it just wouldn't do it. It just wouldn't establish focus where I wanted to have it. But then other times it's not always in the foreground. So I have no idea what it's basing it off of. Because it's not your player character. I don't know what it's doing. So it's a little infuriating to work with. But if you can get it to work how you want it, then you can get depth of field in the photos. And I'm like, I like that. Animal Crossing Boca Edition.
What are you doing?
I was saying on Friday, when we were playing it for the first time, I was like, if someone posts a photo, or if I post a photo and it's not leather boxed, shoot me, because it's not the real me. I've been replaced, and I'm sticking with that. Of all of the frames, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna use leather box basically 100% of the time.
What are you doing, Kepler?
I don't know what the ratio is. It looks like 235-1. Chaz says, camera tech talk count 1. I'll move on. I'm sorry, Chaz. I'm sorry. 17 months from Sephiroth 1204 says, thanks for being one of the last bits of stability I've got these days. We're not going anywhere. I mean, I can at least say that. You know, it's just 3 times a week, but if people need stability on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we got them. And it's so weird because, like, everything is different. Everything's different. You know, like, my parents are at home watching. Hi, guys. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. And, you know, my work is shut down until further notice. So it's weird for everybody. I think everybody is also, I'm sure my parents sincerely appreciate the messages. So I know that they can read them, so thank you all. You know, work is shut down for you know, not only Mom, but like so much of the world, and everyone is in this really weird spot and doesn't know what to do. So I'm glad that we can provide something at this time for folks, because it's just strange. Michigan Boy says, do they have an account to give a sub to? They don't. They do not watch with a Twitch account, so they are never in chat. But they always watch. If they can't watch live, they always watch the VOD. I think my parents have actually seen every breakfast stream. They like the show. And I'm like, well, good. I'm glad. Be better than you hating the show. We got 8-month resub from Jay Castillo, who says, doing the thing while playing Animal Crossing. I have a feeling there's quite a few people this morning that...
I mean, that's what I would be doing.
If you didn't have to be on the show, you would just be...
I could do it and be on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it's best if you
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't be happy.
No, I'd have some choice words for you after the show.
Instead, I just get to snuggle Kepi. This is my only time I get to snuggle Kepi.
And that's better. That's better. One of the things I like about Animal Crossing is that I get the escape of it, but also it's not like I have to play it all day. I can put in some amount of time in a day, and then it's like there's nothing else to do, and I'm like, oh, I did it. I can get back to doing things, but still feel like I'm like making progress, and that's nice. If there was a game that like just encapsulated all my free time, first off, I don't think that could happen, but it's nice to be able to feel like I get to do something and still balance work. So that's fun.
Did you see what Carlos said?
Hey, Mama and Papa George, gonna miss eating all your desserts this year at Coliseum. Aw. Someone actually had sent me a message or something and said that since, Coliseum was not happening in person this year, they were like, so does that mean that you get to eat all the treats this year? And I was thinking, I've gotten to eat all the treats every year my entire life. Like people.
That said, don't make us any treats. We already have the banana bread you bought yesterday.
Yeah, I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah.
Clearly, because I made normal
We'll
toast.
have it Thursday.
Yeah, like it's just funny because people last year got to experience some of my mom's sweets, and I'm like, oh man, she just made those all the time growing up. So I always had really delicious stuff to eat. But yeah, my mom brought over banana bread, and I forgot.
Yeah.
You let me forget.
I'm just remembered.
Because you forgot too.
There's a foot in my face.
Okay,
you are inches from me.
We'll eat some of that. I mean, I can eat some of it Thursday and also today. There's plenty of bread.
Your whiskers are touching me. What are you doing?
He's cleaning.
Inches from me.
It's wash time. We got 300 bits from Danny X6, who says, thanks to everyone for the good vibes for my audition last week. I got a call back for a lead role, and I'm just waiting to hear back about it. Fingers crossed.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Oh, you're done snuggling. Okay.
That's awesome. Again, I understand how the good vibes thing works here, but I'm not going to question it. So, if you have something coming up, announce it on Breakfast Stream. It's been an astounding amount of good luck in the past. Danny, thank you. We got 4-month resub from Crunchy Professor. Says, should probably also sub myself. New normal is weird, starting to teach remotely. I feel for all my students since a lot of them have been sent home and have to try and take class from all over. Yeah, it's, I had said a week ago or so, I have a friend who's a principal, and things are strange. These are strange times, especially because, for most people, there's not a plan in place for this. It's just suddenly, well,
figure it out.
And, teachers have had to immediately adapt. And that's great, that they have, because they're full of ingenuity and can make something happen. But, it's bizarre. It's bizarre for the teachers. It has to be bizarre for the students. I feel really strange about, people who have grade school kids, and suddenly they're like, oh, you're going to be home for weeks or months, and I'm going to have to do some level of homeschooling. Again, weird times. Yeah. Weird times for everybody, but because everyone is going through it, there's some solidarity there, too, to know that literally everyone in the globe is going through this as well. So, let's see, we got 324 bits from BuckyBoy2009, who says, honk, honk, utilizing that secret honk alert. We got a 17-month resub from Jam, who says, 17 months, that's neat. Here in California, there may actually be more traffic on the roads than usual. Trying to stay inside, but eventually going to go for the elusive unicorn of Kirkland toilet paper. Got to dress as scary and socially offensive as possible. What you need more of the people that I experienced in the post office that just naturally want to stay away from you. then your job's a lot easier.
When you were saying about that earlier, some of chat was saying it was probably because you're intimidating being so tall.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, also, depending on the news and stuff that you're watching, they've said that a lot of the carriers of the virus are people that are younger that aren't experiencing symptoms, so they're going out. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know where that woman came from right before she went to the post office. Maybe she was watching the news and saw that, and then the first person she sees is me, a young grandpa. So she's like, oh no. I honestly, I feel like if she would have had like a crucifix, like she would have waved it at me, because it really felt that bizarre. And I'm thinking, I'm not gonna like come hug you. Like, I don't even know you. I want you to stay away from me as much as I want to stay away from you. So it's a two-way thing. But good luck on getting toilet paper, because still haven't seen it. Because even when we went to the grocery store yesterday, none. Although that one did have diapers.
Yeah.
And diapers have apparently been a very hard thing to find, and that
had all the diapers.
That one had a lot. So soon. 11, not diapers. I think it was understood I meant toilet paper, not like soon I'll need diapers. 11-month resub.
You will need them.
There are days. There are days where I wonder where I barely make it to the toilet in time. It's 11-month resub from Xenoblade Fanatic says, 1 more month. Now back to playing Animal Crossing for 14 hours. Make those bells. Sell those fish. We got 300 bits from Squid, who says, good morning, everyone. I almost forgot about breakfast stream Curse You Animal Crossing. Well, the good news is you can do them at the same time. You can wander around, shake trees, hit rocks.
Some people treat breakfast stream like a podcast.
Yeah. And now more people than ever.
Yeah. With
occasional glances while they're playing the game. And like, that's fine. I'm just happy folks are here. We got 100 bits from the Queen's Thief.
I'm out of coffee.
200 bits from Courtney D. Smith. And 100 bits from ZGamer200. Thank you all. Appreciate it. We got 300 bits from Jam, who says, Happy National Chocolate Covered Raisin Day. Is that today? It's not like I'm surprised like I missed it. It's not that it's generally on my calendar. But I haven't had a chocolate covered raisin in forever. I love those things. A lot of people don't like raisins, I've learned in my adult life. As I talk to more people, there's a lot of people that are like, raisins are gross.
I've liked them less and less. I don't want them. I would rather have almost anything else.
have, and I bet there's plenty of people here that would relate to this. I have so many good memories of being in elementary school and opening up my lunch and having the little tiny red pack of what's the brand?
Sunkist?
Is it Sunkist?
I don't know.
Raisins?
I agree with Brandon. Brandon said craisins are better. I agree.
I don't know if I've ever had a craisin. Is it Sun-Made?
Oh, it's Sun-Made.
Sunkist is, you're thinking of Star-Kissed tuna. Only the best tasting raisins get to be sun-kissed. Shout out to the 10 people that got that.
Sunkist is soda.
Oh, well, that's even weirder. This is such a weird... Anyway, I love raisins. I haven't had them in forever, but like, when, I don't know, in my adult life, there's never been a time, because those little packs that you had as a kid are based on ones that are like this big. And like, there's never been a time that I've thought to myself, you know what sounds good? An adult-sized portion of raisins. But it doesn't mean I don't like them. You know?
I don't like raisins.
I like raisins, but, am I going to go out of my way to eat raisins? Like, no. Put them in...
Craisins?
Put them in my toast. Raisin toast is good.
I need to make craisin bread.
Adds a nice little thing. Oh yeah, Raisin Bran exists.
Ugh.
You don't like that? Raisin Bran, in my opinion, makes bran tolerable.
I'd rather have any other dried fruit. Dried mangoes, amazing.
Renee says raisins miss their opportunity to whine. It's interesting hearing people's opinions on raisins. Anyway, chocolate-covered raisins are great. That was my whole point. I haven't had them in forever. I guess I can't get them right now, really. I mean, maybe at the store next time. I'll see if I can find some. We got 300 bits from Item Crafting Live. Mal, what's your opinion on the in-game pattern program? Have you tried making any designs?
I made a dress, and I faded it basically from dark blue to white, and I call it my ocean dress. Because it's like...
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah. And then someone pointed out the other day that your character doesn't have eyebrows. And I was like, huh. So I made a pattern and did the face paint, so now I have eyebrows.
And Mal told me about that last night.
Yeah.
She was like, look, I have eyebrows. And I didn't know what she was talking about. So I was like, okay, cool. And she's like, I had to draw them on because you don't have eyebrows. And I was like, oh. So then I made eyebrows too. I was like, oh, look, neat. So I now in future screenshots,
I had seen someone's...
I'll have eyebrows.
someone's pattern of eyebrows, and they were just like, they started here and went like basically to the middle part. But I made, like, arced ones, so they looked more like mine.
And Decoy Troy said, don't some of the eyes have eyebrows? Yes, some do. But there's a lot that don't. And when I first drew the eyebrows on, I was like, oh, this feels weird. And then I just looked at it for like a minute, and then my brain was like,
yes,
this is actually fine. So I have them. So, yeah. If you want to see someone who's doing some wild stuff with the in-game pattern program, follow Haley, the Kubliest, on Twitter. Because, okay, so for as much as you think Mal likes Animal Crossing,
yeah,
Haley likes Animal Crossing about 10 times more. I mean, adores Animal Crossing. And she is exceptionally good at doing
the pixel art
stuff. Like, it's astounding. And I don't know if she just doesn't have a lot of confidence in herself or doesn't realize how good she is, but she's always like, oh, I have so much to learn, I'm not very good, and I'm just thinking, you're wrong, very wrong. But yeah, she's doing amazing stuff, and she's posting some of that on Twitter, and her town is already crazy, because she's like making pathways and all this stuff, and it's wild. It's really wild. I'm curious to see what things will look like. Brandon's got a tweet, a link to a tweet there, so you can just see. But yeah, she's doing wild stuff. The only thing I did is I was like, I want to make a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So I made the shirt, and then I also made a face paint that fits under hair and looks like a head injury with blood coming down. I did it for a very specific post, and then I repurposed it to look like blood on the sand. Not related to 50 Cent, but about the bird. Anyway, this is how I play Animal Crossing. Some people might say it's the wrong way. I say they're wrong. Let me move on. 17 months from Ember Lara, who says, yo, thanks for making my workdays a little more fun. I'm still working from the office right now. Helps keep me grounded. No problem. Again, glad to add, some stability. And like you said, hopefully some fun. Hopefully a little joy in the mornings. We got 300 bits from ZGamer200. Thanks for doing what you can do to inform folks about COVID-19, Grandpa. Finally, I'm in a position to become a patron too, so I guess that's one silver lining in all this. We sincerely appreciate it. I understand that for some folks, depending on how work goes, these are going to be difficult times. And obviously, I always want people to take care of themselves first and foremost. But we also appreciate support. So thank you for being either having become a patron or thinking about it. We appreciate it no matter where it comes from. We got 300 bits from Howdy It's Will. That's why Stefano is so tall, from all of Great Grandma's fibrous sweets. It's funny actually, because we've joked about, my family's joked about long before Mal was ever around, that the reason I'm so tall is because I ate so much Campbell's chicken noodle soup as a kid. Is there a correlation there? Definitely not. I'm sure it's not a thing. But when I was a kid, I just really loved Campbell's chicken noodle soup, and I ate it all the time, like even for breakfast. And my parents joked about like writing to Campbell's and trying to get some sort of like sponsorship or commercial deal or something where I could be like, look, I'm tall. I did it all with Campbell's. Don't think there's any correlation there, but maybe.
Like the Gerber baby, but for Campbell's.
Yeah. 300 bits from Jojre says, wish me luck, gotta get going to work. I have a feeling that I'll need it. Hope everyone has a good day. Good luck, Jojre. Good luck to you and everyone else who's heading in today. 300 bits from Jam says, I'm happy to say our local school services will be giving out laptops and other materials to students who don't have them. Logistically, it will be rough. The infrastructure is going to be a mess, but it would be great if everyone gets figuring out technology for better distance learning. Crossed fingers. One amazing thing is seeing Venice in a way people haven't seen it in centuries with dolphins and clear water. I've seen some of the posts coming out of that, and that's been wild.
The same with pollution.
Yeah.
Because, like, cities in China are clearer than they've ever been.
Yeah. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I mean, again, silver linings in all of this. That's really cool that school services are giving out laptops and stuff. This is difficult for everybody,
mm-hmm.
teachers and students alike. And like we were talking about, I think on Thursday maybe, there are kids in the school system here
mm-hmm.
that don't have the internet. They do not have the internet home. They do not have a computer at home. So
we're 1-to-1 though. Our county. It's.
I don't know what that means.
When every kid has a laptop or some sort of device to do work on, and it's 1-to-1 instruction where the teacher and the student each have a device, and they can basically.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
They call it 1-to-1.
Oh, okay.
Because I was talking to Carly.
Brandon knew what that meant.
Yeah.
I heard that and I'm like, that's like teacher speak. Teacher speak.
Not everywhere has that though. I was talking to Carly and they don't have 1-to-1.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I was surprised. Because she's talked about Chromebooks before, so I think it may be just like each classroom has a set and the kids use that set when they go to that classroom at her school. But when I was teaching, and I know it's still this way in the county, is every kid has their own device and they take it.
Okay.
But like Purple Puyo says, we have 1-to-1 in our district, but not everywhere. Yeah, our elementaries didn't have it before 3rd grade, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So like kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd don't have it. So that's kind of a challenge, is figuring out for them.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I hope that things can be figured out.
Yeah.
And, again, my heart goes out to all of the parents of younger kids at home who are put in a position to just try and do some sort of teaching themselves when they're not used to that. I'll get 300 bits from Furious Kitty. Being a good girl and working from home, currently waiting on everyone else to come back from lunch break. Lunch break? Must be a different time zone. Although my first thought was, lunch sounds great, but I'm still working on my toast.
Yeah.
But that's pretty typical lately. I've been eating my toast like after the stream. We got 100 bits from U212 and 200 bits from James St. J. St. J.
Yep.
Thank you both. 10-month resub from Zakataco917. Good morning, Stephen and Mao. 10 months, time flies. How are you doing during these fun times? I'm out of work due to COVID-19. Look at the bright side, I get to catch a breakfast stream for once. I'm glad you're here. A lot of people get a chance to enjoy breakfast stream because of this, so again, that's a good part. But we're doing all right. Things are overall,
trying to stay busy.
And trying to look on the bright side of things when we can, and trying not to let the uncertainty affect us. Like, everyone's dealing with the weirdness.
Yeah.
Everyone's dealing with the uncertainty, but the weirdness is just weird, and I can live with that. The uncertainty can be scary, so that's why, I try not to focus on that as much.
And it's important to take mental breaks away from social media, away from
the news,
which is why Animal Crossing came at the perfect time, because when I get anxious about things, I'm like, it's okay, just go catch some fish for a while, and I give myself, some time where I'm only thinking about fishing and not feeling scared.
Yeah. And I deal with things a lot better than Mal. So I've really tried to stress lately, like, you don't have to read the news. Like, you don't have to.
The news app is like, all the time, it's popping up like some news, and I'm like, stop it, I don't want to know.
You have control over your notifications.
I know, I gotta turn it off.
Turn them off.
But it didn't used to do that. It just suddenly started doing it.
I don't know. I don't have that. Turn them off. I'm just saying, the reason I bring it up is like, I can be your news source. Mm-hmm. I will tell you the things you need to know. Because I can read the news and I'll be alright. But you won't be. So just don't do it and let me tell you the things you need to know. It'll be better. We get 100 bits from Corey K 0017. Appreciate that. 300 bits from What Is Even This Game? One silver lining to being stuck in a college town with no IRL classes going on is that I have the apartment to myself. This means I can proceed to make random screeching noises whenever about anything and not have anyone give me a funny look. Well, I guess I still don't know if the neighbors can hear me.
Our neighbors have been playing music nonstop.
Everyone deals with things differently. And I never hear our neighbors. Because, again, we're in a house.
Yeah.
I never hear our neighbors, but they...
Yeah, stop this music.
But they do have a tendency to play music...
Until about 1 or 2 a.m.
Yeah, like after we go to bed. And you can only hear it. You can only hear it when you're laying in bed. Everything's off. The air's not currently running. And... where our master bedroom is, the wall is right up against their house. I mean, not connected, but like that's where the house is.
It's the closest part of our house to their house.
And we'll get in bed and we'll be laying there. We turn everything off. We lay down, and all of a sudden you can hear boom, 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 and I'm just sitting there like, really? Really? In fact, the other night.
Their son is our age and he teaches guitar. So I'm assuming it's rock music.
Well, the other night it got to the point where I put on
white noise.
Well, it was rain
ambience.
I went to Spotify and I was like, sleep. There's a special sleep section. It's all these playlists that are like different things, and one's like rain. I'm like, rain. So I'm just laying there and I'm like, I'd rather listen to rain than boom, boom, boom.
Tenderkraut says they probably don't realize other people can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
I'm sure. And the thing is, like, I don't mind. I really don't mind. And I'm sure that they don't know. And the amount of times it's been a problem has been minimal.
Yeah.
But not ideal.
Yeah.
Not ideal. Carlos said, insane in the... Thunderstorm, really. I like the thunderstorms a little more than the rain. I like it when it's heavier. Mm-hmm. But
it did that this morning. That's why I woke up early.
If Carlos decides to make a new music channel that's dedicated to like metal music, like heavier stuff, Insane in the Storm. There you go. It's Insane in the Thunderstorm. These ideas are free. Just take them, because they're so good. And we also get 100 bits from James St. J again. Thank you, James.
Insane in the Hail.
Insane in the Hail. That's if you are living in the Midwest and you're doing music outside in the snow.
Well, hail is different than snow.
Yeah, but you're not going to do it in the hail.
Because it would hurt?
Yeah. Listen,
why not
my ideas don't make sense. Don't analyze them.
Why not insane in the blizzard?
Because that's too many syllables. The idea is when you have insane in the rain is one syllable. It rolls off the tongue. That's why I did
insane in the hurricane.
That's why I did
that's good sewer rat.
That's why I did insane in the storm. Insane in the hurricane works too because of the rhyme. So I'm willing to let the syllable thing slide because of the rhyme there. But when you say
Carlos is just like.
But when you say insane in the blizzard, that's 2 syllables. It just throws it all off. Lizard in the blizzard. You would have to become a lizard, I guess. That one's not bad. That one's not bad.
He says I'm just groaning. Did you know he has an upright bass?
Yeah.
He can start doing like Seinfeld riffs.
Carlos, listen. What the world needs now. What the world needs now is Seinfeld riffs. So if you could just get started on that, that'd be great. What the world needs now is Seinfeld riffs, sweet Seinfeld riffs.
I'm done.
Carlos was never back. It's funny because I saw my Seinfeld shirt hanging in my closet, and I almost put that on today.
Almost?
Wouldn't that have been great?
Yeah, it would have been.
That would have been perfect. Absolutely perfect. Let me eat some of this bread.
It's so good. I need something though. It's way too dry. There's like seeds stuck to the outside, so that they made the loaf, and then they rolled it in like, what is that? Poppy seeds, sunflower seeds. There's some other stuff in there, and then they baked it. So it's real dry. It's tasty though.
It is good bread.
Seinfeld in the rain. I got some yeast when we were at the grocery store. Because I was like, oh, if I do this, then I could bake some stuff. So I got yeast, and now I can make things like bread if I need to. And I know how to do sourdough, because I did that before, where I made a starter and kept it for like 2 weeks. But that's a waste of flour right now. So I was like, I'll just get some yeast so I can make regular bread.
Well, I mean, another thing is that a lot of people are at home. Possibly they're not used to cooking.
Are people making fun of my Wisconsin accent? Yeast.
If you want to go down this path, what do you carry your groceries in?
A bag?
You don't actually say that.
No, I used to.
Yeah.
I sort of...
We corrected that.
Yeah. No, don't say it.
No! Bad. I still hear your sister say that.
Oh yeah, Carly pushes it.
But also, your sister lives amongst the people. She still lives in the Midwest, so everyone says that. A big.
A bag.
A big. Oh, but then they reverse it on bagel, and they say bagel, and I'm like, why? It's not B-A-G-G-L-E. That's not how it's spelled. Anyway.
Chaz says, true Wisconsinites make bag 3 syllables.
Bag. Bag. Anyway.
Dry toast?
It's hard to eat.
I know. It made my throat super dry, and I'm really sad I'm out of coffee.
I like it, but it's hard to consume. Let's see. We got 17-month resub from Dane Mortensen, who said, "Oh man, I missed 16, but now you're here for 17." So it's like 16 extra.
Plus 1.
Yeah, 16 plus 1. So really, you've just created a math equation. I don't see that that's a bad thing. And then Dane1647 with 300 bits who says, "Birthday?
Is it birthday?"
Was Dane trying to see if the birthday alert still worked? Because it does. We Chaz and I decided to leave that on permanently. Because there's a lot of times people use bits or whatever to announce their own birthdays. So we decided to just leave that on as a permanent installation. So if you want to announce your birthday, you'll actually get that birthday alert. So skipped over my birthday message for your last stream. I did? It must not have come through. I definitely read all the ones that come through. But if you remember what you wrote, you might be able to message Chaz and see if he can figure out
where it went.
If it got lost. Because He's still refining the system. Because there's like some weird circumstances where, like super bizarre stuff where it may not come through, but it's like he has basically all of it figured out. Let's see. We got a 6-month resub from Lodestar Mage. It's double plus. Thank you, Lodestar. 300 bits from Danny X6. Says, I imagine Steven with a spray bottle squirting him out every time she says bag with the Midwest accent. Well, I'm not that much of a psychopath. But there was definitely things that different ways that malpronounce words that I would disagree with. I'd be like, that's not how you say that. And likewise, I think it's probably worked in reverse too.
Yeah.
Where I've said things and Mal's been like, say that again, and I'll be like, what? And she'll be like,
giraffe.
Ooh, called out on the wolf. I've tried very hard over the years to throw that L in there hard. Wolf. Yeah.
It's not hard.
It's real hard. It doesn't even
I
fit.
said wolf as a kid.
Yeah, I say that now. Throw caution to the wolves.
Wolves.
Throw caution to the wolves.
You don't need all those extra letters in there.
See, for Midwesterners, bag has 3 syllables.
Uh-huh.
But for me, the word wolf has 3 syllables. There's nothing wrong with it. Another thing, and it's not an incorrect way of saying it. It's just the Midwestern way is different. Is the way that you say roof.
Yeah.
Midwesterners say roof, and like that's in my opinion that's not what's on top of your house. That's the sound that comes out of a dog. But that one's I'm a little more lenient on. I'm like, it's fine. It's a little weird, but it's fine. But like, it's a bagel. It's not a it's not a bagel. Ooh, Renee with Creek versus Crick.
Creek.
Yeah, I mean, I have a history of both because my dad's from West Virginia, and like, it's Crick.
Squid says oil and oil.
Huh?
How your mom says oil.
Oh yeah.
The Maryland.
Yeah, my mom.
Accent. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mom puts R's in words that don't have R's, and she literally cannot hear the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just can't hear it. And I'm like, these are different words that you're saying. And now I'll say this, and then she'll say it, and then I'll say this.
It's the O-I.
It's the OI sound.
Mm-hmm.
So the OI sound in particular is just, she really doesn't hear the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone everywhere is different.
There's a really cool accent test where it asks you about how do you say this word.
Yeah.
Do you say it like this as in, this word, or this as in this other word? And then you kind of fill out these and it'll tell you where your accent is kind of based. And I've taken it, and it's like Wisconsin. And it like even shows like more sort of the right side of Wisconsin, the east side.
I took that test.
Because the east side of Wisconsin says bubbler, but the west side says drinking fountain.
Yep.
So it put me definitely in the east side of Wisconsin.
I took that test, and it did not know what to do with me. I had strong results for like Kansas City and like a few other places, and it had no idea. And I was like, cool, I'm doing great. I'm doing a great job. Because like,
test.
can I answer as a Southerner? Sure. I can answer as a Southerner, and it would put me someplace. But if I answer as myself, then it had no idea. It was like, I don't know where to go. What are you? And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Brandon, I think that's it.
I'm a first generation South Carolinian.
Yeah, that's it, Brandon.
First generation South Carolinian with parents from Maryland and West Virginia, who has put effort into losing Southern roots, and because of that, the system thinks that I belong in Kansas City. I don't know. Beats me. No idea. James St. J sends 300 bits and says, I've got Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. What should I play first? Big fan from Australia. So I am not qualified to answer this. I have played neither of those games. I've played a little of Mario Odyssey, helping Mal play some levels. Back when you were playing through it,
Yeah.
Mal would get stuck sometimes, and I would help her. But that's the most I've played. So chat is actually more helpful in this regards. I can tell you what I know of the games through the grapevine and like what I've gathered. Breath of the Wild is longer, but Mario Odyssey is still pretty long. There's a lot of game in both of those titles, but they're also very different titles. Mario Odyssey, I think, would feel a little more casual, because when you're playing that, it's like, you just got the moon, and then like 50 seconds later, it's like, you just got the moon. So it's just, it feels to me like you're making progress a lot.
Yeah, it does.
So if you're just looking for like the quick little hits of gameplay, I think Mario Odyssey is the way to go. If you start Breath of the Wild, you know, you're starting a 50-plus hour adventure at least. For a lot of people, they get like 100 hours out of it. So, you know, it really depends. It really depends. If you want an appetizer before you get into your main course, I would probably go with Mario Odyssey. But really, it depends on what you're in the mood to play. And with how the...
Bye, Cappy.
I mean, also, if you're willing to bounce back and forth between the games, you could do that too, because you could play Mario Odyssey and say, okay, I'm going to get
I feel like you
10
need
moons today.
a block of time to put into Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like, if you have, 2 hours to spare, Breath of the Wild, but if you have, 30 minutes a day, Odyssey.
Yeah, I mean, if you're someone that right now is stuck at home because of the situation in the world, maybe now's a good time to start Breath of the Wild because of that. But I mean, both are great games. Nintendo always has done a really good job with their first party series, but especially on the Switch, there's a reason all these games have been rated like
Very
super highly. Got 18-month resub from Reed the Nintendo Painter. Happy to still be here. Quick question for Mao. Have you considered doing a painting in an 8-bit pixelated style?
The Tetris one is kind of that, I guess.
That's the closest you've ever come.
Yeah.
But I mean,
the frustrating thing for me
I think Reed's referring specifically to like gridding.
Yeah.
Like gridding a painting and doing something very explicitly that way.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but my biggest frustration is when paints aren't opaque enough. When you can see, like, the brush strokes and it's, like, not solid yellow or whatever. That frustrates me, because it frustrated me with the Tetris painting, because I had to, like, repaint things until it was opaque. So I think that would be frustrating to me. I prefer to, like, blend the colors so that just happens as I'm painting. I don't have to worry about it.
I mean, it's a very different way of painting.
Yeah.
A lot of times I think people that aren't... I think sometimes people are just... When they look at artists, they just assume, like, oh, you're an artist, therefore you can do anything, right? But within art, there's, subjects and mediums, and then topics, like subjects for paint. Yeah,
versus
exactly.
Portraits
so
versus...
it's very different to paint acrylic versus oil, but it's also very different to do landscape versus something like that. And there's actually going to be interesting trials and tribulations just trying to do something like that.
I used to cross stitch.
Yeah.
And that's basically 8-bit, because you got all your little blocks.
I remember when you cross-stitched something for one of the Starmen.
Yeah, the Fun Fest.
Yeah.
2007 Fun Fest, the winter one.
Sounds right.
Yeah. I cross-stitched all of the Mother 3 characters and did little backgrounds and had the ornament frames.
I remember that. I don't know if you have a picture of that anywhere.
Oof. Yeah.
You don't have to find it now. I was just wondering.
But we're talking about it. So
I just wanted to know if it still existed.
Oh yeah, let me go find it. And I'll post it to Discord.
You might get to see this. We'll find out. Anyway, Reed, congrats on OnePlus. We got 14 months from Opie SSBM. Gotta start waking up earlier for work, and I may actually make it to some of these live now. Well, that's good. Hope you get to join us a little bit. I got 245 bits from Zach Attack 0917. Zach, thank you. And 500 bits from Penguin Frog, who says, I just got word that we will be paid to remain home when we're scheduled to stay home. Since our office is actually essential, we're rotating who's in the office by week. I mean, that's awesome. That is how it should be. So wonderful. I'm glad that you're being taken care of in that way.
I found it.
Oh, that is not the
what
picture.
You wanted? Oh.
Well, it's fine. It shows it.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't seen that in a long time. I haven't seen that in a very long time. You like Mother 3?
I think Stephanie did Kumatora for that though, because I taught her how to cross stitch, and I think she did that one.
Mm-hmm. Ma'am. Have you had any desire to do anything like that again in a while?
Kind of. Actually, I think I cross-stitched Haley's dog, like 5 months ago. Do you remember when I did that? I did a little cross-stitch of Leica.
I remember that.
And that's because Carly had been doing some cross-stitch, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. So I did. Haley had just made the sprite for Leica for the randomizer, so I cross-stitched it and then sent it to her. And then Carly visited, and I gave her all of my floss. My embroidery floss, because it's a huge box, and I didn't need it anymore, and she was doing it, so I just gave it all to her.
There's been a few other, like, things that you've done over the years, like, art-related.
Yeah.
That might be fun for you to revisit at some point. You used to do sewing. Mm-hmm. It's been a while.
And I want to sew more, but we don't have a great fabric store here.
Yeah, that and time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I am with, like, music.
The last major thing I sewed was my poodle skirt.
Yeah, and that was 2015 or 2016?
Mm-hmm. And, like, I save a lot of sewing projects on Pinterest. I'm like, oh, a wrap skirt. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Someday I want to have my recording painting studio in a room, and then have a room for, like, other art stuff, but also, like, my computer, and, like, so I can, like, keep my sewing machine out. And
I mean, I don't disagree with you, if only for the fact that I want more
space to
I want more space
set up my stuff,
to set up your stuff correctly.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember our roots. I remember where we came from. Yeah. I remember. I understand that every place that we've moved, your space has gotten bigger, and I'm grateful for that. But also, even in the current space, I see so many room for improvements. And it literally comes down to needing space.
My lights aren't where they should be, and...
Well, it would be nice to be in a spot where there could be ceiling rails where lights existed off of the floor. That alone would be holy crap. That would be amazing. Mm-hmm. That's hard to do, and we certainly could not do anything like that in a place that we're renting.
Oh, yeah.
Because they would be not
I mean, our ceilings are also...
Yeah.
Is this vaulted when they come to a point?
I think it's vaulted when they're exceptionally high.
Yeah.
I think that's vaulted.
It's not a tray ceiling, but... So they're all at an angle.
Yeah. Proper mounts for top-down camera views. I mean... Yes. Yes. Although, just the fact that we included some of those shots in one of Mal's videos... whatever it was, a month or two ago, gave me hope for the fact that we can do that in the future.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about, for years, we've talked about doing tabletop videos. And that was kind of, it wasn't like a full trial run, but it was a bit of a trial run to see exactly how that'd work. And I was thinking, you know, we could do this. The way that we have our equipment now, it's not ideal. But at some point in the future, do we have the necessary stuff? Could it be in one place in order to, you know, to do all that? Like, yeah, it could, and that would be great. That'd be really great. we should probably wrap up.
We gotta play Animal Crossing.
Sure. Sure. I've already got the stuff for Stephen Plays scheduled for today. As I said earlier, I don't have them scheduled, but I will by the time 3 o'clock rolls around. What do you call it?
The what? My video's out.
Vlogs.
Oh.
The vlogs are done, so those will be out today. And today's Tuesday, so we're back to Smash on the channel. And I'm trying to think if there's any other little things.
My video's out.
Yeah, oh god, yeah.
I just said that 5 seconds ago.
Sorry. I heard it the second time, and Brandon's already got the links. If you haven't seen Mal's newest painting, both the time lapse and the full version came out last night. It's good. It's real good. So check it out if you get a chance, because it's good. Also, related, play Mother 3. Play Mother 3, it's a great game. You know, not that I want to like advocate for nefarious activity, because I know it's not available in English from a store, but seriously, play it. It's real good. It's real good. 3 bits from Danny X6. I told myself I wouldn't play Animal Crossing until I finished 100% in Yoshi's Crafted World, but it's taking so long.
I played the demo and that took a while.
Oh my goodness. I know that feeling of like, oh crap, there's a new game out. I really need to finish this thing. I relate to that by a lot. Actually, right before Animal Crossing came out, I had been working on trying to get a very specific achievement in Smash.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for those who are familiar, it's beating the final boss, the real final boss, without dying. So on the very last boss, you get 3 characters, and you have to beat the whole thing. It's like a half-hour fight. So freaking long. You have to beat the whole thing with basically the first character. And the thing that sucks is that I know I can do it, because I can get through the first 25 minutes or whatever without dying every time. Then you get to the part where you're actually fighting Galeem and Darkon, and I have died on that and restarted, which puts you at the beginning of that, and I've beat it without dying. So like, I know that I can do it, but I've never managed to do both of them at the same time. So just set the difficulty to easy, and it's not that bad. But I haven't done that, so it's like a personal goal. So it's like I know I can do it, I just haven't managed to do it. And I've experimented a little bit with what I think is the best option, and I sincerely think that my best option is using Lucas with Great Auto Heal. I've definitely have the best luck with that. But D-Scoot says doesn't have to be Ganondorf. No, I think that's a separate thing. But now I'm super scared. I'm going to have to double check. Because wouldn't it be awful to find out that I'm doing it wrong? I think they're 2 separate achievements. God, I hope so. Really hope so, because that would be not good. Anyway, all right. So let's go ahead and wrap up for today. Thank you all for being here. Again, what an interesting time. But try and keep your spirits high. Try and look for silver linings.
You're living history.
That you are definitely living history. And we will be back on Thursday. So we'll see you Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, for more Breakfast Stream.